Hey y'all, bear with me for how I sound. I'm gonna sniffle a little bit. I'm getting over a cold. I just wanted to make a post to just dig a little bit deeper on today's reading because there's so much to be said about it, honestly, that we could not fit in a caption. Try as we may. We did try. But today's reading is, of course, it is Holy Wednesday, day of Passover meal, the Last Supper. And one thing that we want to touch on, of course, is the betrayal of Jesus by Judas. And at the meal, of course, Jesus says, "Verily I say unto you, one of you which eateth with me shall betray me." And they began to be sorrowful and say unto him one by one, "Is it I?" And another said, "Is it I?" And they all went around and said that. Interestingly enough, asking if it's themselves and not pointing the finger at each other, but asking about their own heart, And then it gets to Judas. Now, mind you, Judas has already agreed to betray Jesus at this point. But Judas still asks him, "Is it I, Rabbi?" And Jesus answers him, "You have said so." And he said, "It is one of the 12 that dippeth with me in the dish," which is, all of them, of course. And Jesus specified that it would be one of them that broke the bread with him and dipped into the dish and ate with him, to specify that it would be someone that he considers a friend. And that's such an important thing to take note of, that it could be people that you consider a friend that look to be on the same path of you as you, and can still have ulterior motives, false intentions. And that's what Judas did. That was exactly who Judas was. Because Judas was of the world, of course, and he did not follow Jesus for Jesus. He followed Jesus for what Jesus could do for him. And of course, not only is that exemplified in him betraying him for money, but prior to that, before the Passover, after Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, Mary and Martha, his sisters, are hosting him at their home. And Mary is anointing Jesus' head and feet with a really expensive ointment. In some of the other books, interestingly, I noticed that it doesn't specify that it is Mary, and that it doesn't specify which of the disciples asks about why she's using such an expensive ointment. But in John, it does specify who was saying what. And it was Judas who said, "Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor?" This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and bare what was put therein. The bag referenced here was a money bag that Judas was charged with managing for the funds for the common group, for all of them, that they used, either for amongst all of them or for the poor. But Judas was taking from it. So he was never there for who Jesus was. He was there for himself. He was not, but Judas was there for his own gain. And that almost makes you think about, why do I follow Jesus? Do I seek him for my own personal gain, or do I seek him because I know who I am in the flesh? I know that I am a broken, corrupt sinner, and I can only be redeemed through him. I don't do I seek him because he could provide me things here on earth, which don't really matter in the end? Or do I seek him because he can provide me more than I could ever imagine, plus a life with him in eternity? So that's all I have for today. Happy Holy Wednesday, and see you next time.